Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 video. Yeah, we can finally say Xenoverse 3 in a video without it feeling too weird. Now, again, before we get into this, I want to say always wait, okay? Always wait for an official confirmation / reveal or trailer directly from Bandai Namco when it comes to the American branch or the Japanese branch, okay? Now, I'm not trying to doubt the Southeast Asia branch, which is the branch that we saw this reveal kind of happen, or this fuck up, right? But just to recap what ended up happening the other day. So basically somebody tweeted at me that a playlist was made for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and lo and behold, the only video that got added to this playlist was the brand new project, Age 1000, okay? As y'all are aware, this is the upcoming new big major game that's going to be releasing next year in 2027. At least that's what's planned, right? So there's been a lot of speculation since that Genki Dai Matsuri event where this game got revealed, right? That this game is either Xenoverse 3 or a Xenoverse successor, right? So when it comes down to it, I still personally believe that Xenoverse 3 will happen, and this might actually be the case, right? But we'll wait and see what happens at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, which will get a follow-up with the information. So this video is more of a follow-up to kind of go over what actually happened, okay? And then also I wanted to, I guess say, I'm not trying to convince y'all that this is Xenoverse 3. If you don't believe it's Xenoverse 3 and you think it's still something else, you know, you do you. I'm just making this to give support and evidence on why this could likely be the game, right? And I'm just doing this for fun and for people that are interested in seeing like what things can support this idea, right? Again, if you are dead set and you don't think it's Xenoverse 3 and you think it's something else, okay? You do you, right? You do you. I'm not gonna sit here and like, you know, spend hours and days trying to convince you specifically. But for the people that do believe or are on the fence about it, right? Then this is the video for you. So they did take it down. Okay, they finally took it down after we basically blew it up on the internet. And when I say blew it up, it went pretty crazy, right? It was trending on Twitter. Everybody was, I mean, I don't say everybody, but a lot of people were making videos about it, giving their own thoughts and opinions about it and everything. So yeah, eventually they're gonna have to, you know, take this down because they're gonna notice like, oh shit, like we fucked up. And it's funny because they only took it down after we, you know, made a ruckus over it, right? Which obviously makes sense. You know, that's if they didn't take it down, then I don't know. Like, that's the thing. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. The moment this social media person, the person that runs this Bandai Namco Southeast Asia Entertainment YouTube channel, the moment that they posted this and they created the playlist itself, they fucked up, okay? Because no matter what you do, it's going to be suspicious. You take the, you know, playlist down, it's suspicious. You leave it up, I mean, you leave it up, the people still see it. You know what I mean? So no matter what is being done here, you know, the best thing you can do is just come out and say like, oh yeah, like this is what's happening, and just, you know, play it off like it wasn't a mistake, just reveal it. You know, GTA 6 did the same thing, but they didn't fuck up. Like, that's the thing. This is directly fucked up from the company that is publishing this shit, right? With GTA 6, it was more of like, I think somebody leaked it, which that's bad, right? Don't do that. Like, somebody, if you have the information and you're not even part of the company, that's bad. I mean, this is still bad, but this is one of those few times that a leak, it's good in a sense. I don't want to say good, but like it got people, it's getting people hyped, right? Now, if it's not a leak and they were just fucking around or they don't know what they were doing, which I don't think that's the case. I think that they actually just fucked up and, you know, they weren't supposed to do it, right? But if like they were like doing some stupid shit like, oh, I'm going to fuck with the fans and create this playlist and put it in there or whatever, right? Then that's a big problem. But again, we'll see what happens when it goes down. This YouTube channel, I've been subscribed to it for, I think, a few years now. I pretty much subscribe to all the Bandai Namco channels. I follow all of them on Twitter just to see. Sometimes they post stuff a little bit early, or, you know, they fuck up like this. So it's always good to be following these different branches, right? And they have a branch for pretty much every part of the world for the most part. So I would implore y'all to follow all of them just in case something like this happens, right? So when it comes down to it, I think that this was just a mistake on their part, right? Or, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, can you even call this a mistake? Like, how do you accidentally do this, right? I don't know. Maybe somebody up there who's higher up was like, oh, yeah, like, make sure whenever you are organizing all this, make sure that you put it in the Xenoverse 3 folder. And maybe they weren't thinking, and they were like, they said it too early. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of all the possibilities of, like, how this went down with the communication between whoever is, like, one level higher up on the, team of Bandai Namco Southeast Asia, right? And I don't know if it's one single person who runs this. It could be multiple people. It's likely one person that runs the YouTube channel. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Let's just move over to some of the potential evidence that does support that this game is probably going to be Xenoverse 3, or again, some Xenoverse successor, right? So shout outs to R-Creeps, because I kind of didn't notice this, because I was like, these like silhouette things, these outlines of these characters, they look familiar. Obviously, they're characters that we know, but like it's the style that they went for. Okay, the I guess you could call it the art direction, right? And they pointed out, yeah, these Age 1000 outlines, which were in the trailer, right? Whenever it zooms into my boy John 1000's eye, were definitely updated Xenoverse models, dude. And R-Creeps, if you don't know, R-Creeps is a I guess you could call him like a proficient modeler when it comes to 3D models and Blender and all this stuff. Good friend of mine. So, they know their shit. They know what they're talking about, okay, for the most part. Like, this is somebody who has worked with models from all types of Dragon Ball games before, made their own, used, some of them as a foundation. So when you work with these that often, you're going to pick up on this type of stuff. So we have Beerus, we have Piccolo, we have Broly, and we have Trunks. Now, something to make note about these models, okay, that are, specific, or I say models, but like they do look like a 3D-ish, like almost kind of like the CGI cutscenes from Xenoverse 2, because they're very smooth looking. But when it comes down to, how the models look in Xenoverse 2, I put up a comparison here. They're almost one-to-one, almost, not exactly. Pants are a little bit different, but Keku, who is a Xenoverse 2 modder, who has worked with these models a lot, right? I'm talking like 10 years worth of experience for these people who've been working with these models. They pointed out that the belt has the same exact creases, and it actually does, right? So the belt model is like exact. It's near the same exact thing, right? But obviously these newer, and again, we don't know if this is how they're going to look in the game. We don't know, like, this is just a trailer, so we have no idea, like, if this is just a CGI cutscene, right? Which it likely is. But the game is going to look good, right? It has to look good. We're in 2026 right now. Okay, this is 10 years after the release of Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 is very outdated. They've made several improvements and strives to make, things look better for these games. Like, look at Sparking Zero. Like, whether or not you think the game looks good, the models are very clean. Like, they're smooth as fuck because they're using an Unreal Engine 5. So, at this point in time, like, this shit's going to look gas, right? It's going to look really, really good for the most part. So, yeah, it has the same similar type of art direction, which isn't bad for, Xenoverse. Like, that's the thing I've always said, was that the Xenoverse models themselves are not bad at all. They look good, okay, for the most part, or at least fine, right? If somebody's like, oh, they're old, right? But, like, imagine those models. You take off the dipped in oil look and you give it something a little bit more cell shaded, kind of like the more recent DLC models, which have improved significantly over the past few years. Or you can do a cell shaded thing to make them look more like the CGI cutscenes, right? And then you just polish them up and make small updates, right? Small tweaks, which is kind of what we're seeing here with these guys, right? Again, his pants look a lot smoother. He just looks better on this outline silhouette, right? And that's probably what they went for. They probably got everything from Xenoverse 2. They are likely throwing on a new shader. This is just speculation. I don't know if that's the case, right? Some of the leaks that were going on back in November for Xenoverse 3 said something about that, like the game would look beautiful, and it's going to be adopting a more cell-shaded kind of design and look, right? But art direction-wise, I think they're still kind of going for that Yamamoto style, which it's not exact, but like Xenoverse 2, it definitely looks that kind of like if Yamamoto made, 3D models, right? It has that similar look. You know how like Sparking Zero is more Shintani kind of style? Like that's like the art direction that they're basing it off of, and they have to, keep that consistent. And again, Yamamoto style isn't horrible. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, I'm talking about his modern one. His classic one back in the 90s was phenomenal, but I mean, that's kind of like the style that they've just been using a lot more recently, since Dragon Ball Super, right? So as long as it's like not dipped in oil looking, right, then I think we're good. I think we are good to go, and they will look smoother and everything, and that would be great, right? But again, it's all speculation. We'll definitely see what happens whenever this releases. So something else that I wanted to point out, okay, because there are people who are like, well, it can't be Xenoverse 3 because they called it a brand new project, okay? When you say brand new project, that means it's a new game, a new series, right? This cannot be related to a previous existing series, right? And that's not necessarily true, okay? If you guys recall back in 2016 of May, all right, I was literally there. As you can see, I was there. I uploaded this video on May 16th, 2016, where I broke down the new Dragon Ball project, okay? Xenoverse 2 announcement. That's so fucking funny. I knew exactly what it was. Like, go watch this video. My main speculation on what this was going to be, I was like, it's got to be some type of game related to Xenoverse, right? So, yeah, I think a lot of us we kind of knew. We knew what this shit was going to be. I even put in here, a Dragon Ball Z project that could potentially be related to the sequel of Xenoverse, right? Yeah. Your boy knew what this shit was going to be. So basically, to explain what this was, it was a website called Fly Through Time, okay? So you can, say that's similar to how they're calling it Project Age 1000. So we'll call it Project Fly Through Time, okay? And they literally posted this as a new Dragon Ball project is coming. It's a sequel, and ended up being a sequel to Xenoverse 1, but they still called it a brand new project, a new Dragon Ball project. They didn't say, oh, this is a new sequel. They didn't say that to an existing series. Obviously, they're not going to say that. They want to keep it as, mysterious and as cryptic as they possibly can. But obviously, they were dropping teasers and stuff and hints, okay? So if you go through this, it would kind of cycle through, and there was a countdown for it, right? And it would cycle through different, just random things from Dragon Ball. Not necessarily random, but like they had movies, they had video games, they had posters and stuff. And then occasionally something would appear that is just kind of not, it stood out, right? And what it ended up being was I guess it was like a Future in Ruins, West City type of thing, okay? And the first thing I thought of when I saw that, whenever that would appear, was that it's something related to Future Trunks because, cloudy, dim, in the rain, it's a city. Yeah, I caught on pretty quickly. And it ended up being in the trailer, which was the CGI cutscene of where Future Trunks sees Gohan, Gohan's death, right? Wow, man, that... Y'all got to go back and rewatch that original announcement trailer. It was so beautiful. I rewatched it like 15 times yesterday. And yeah, so that's another thing that kind of, supports that. Because a lot of people were like, well, anytime a new Dragon Ball game came out, they called it a new project, right? And what they meant by that was like they were saying like, oh, well, this is how it supports my theory that it's not Xenoverse 3 or a sequel, is because when it's a brand new, fresh, or like project, kind of like Kakarot or Ultimate Tenkaichi or whatever it may be, right? They always called it a new project, okay? But it's like you have to remember and go back to this, which I know some people don't remember this because, you know, it was literally one day right before the official announcement of Xenoverse 2. Like, it's a little bit different now because this is like months before we're getting more information, right? Which is going to be at Battle Hour. And again, who knows? They could still call it Dragon Ball Project Age 1000, okay? And people will say, well, why didn't they just call it Xenoverse 3? Because I saw a lot of that going around. I think there were like, you know, Twitter posts, probably videos being made about it for people who are still doubting that this, you know, is going to be Xenoverse 3. Which again, you do you. But yeah, like, you have to understand how Bandai is trying to market this stuff when a game is still getting content, right? That's part of the same series. Again, I'm not saying 100% that this is Xenoverse 3, but you have to consider that Xenoverse 2 is still getting DLC. And it's likely that Future Saga Chapter 4, which is the final chapter in the Future Saga series, will be the last DLC that will kind of segue into Age 1000, aka Xenoverse 3. It makes a lot of sense, and there's likely going to be information on that coming at the same exact event that we're getting information for Age 1000. So let's say, for example, you know, this is the case, and they're going to reveal the title of that game there. Okay, and I said genius marketing on Twitter. Don't take that seriously, okay? Do not. People were like, y'all give Bandai too much credit. It ain't genius marketing. You know, y'all glazed in Bandai. Like, no. Y'all taking that shit too seriously. No, I think it is good marketing, right? That is good to do it this way. You don't call it, you don't just like come out and say it's Xenoverse 3 yet at its first initial, you know, teaser, right? Because they kind of did it with this too. Like, they didn't call it Xenoverse 2 yet. They kind of wanted to build a little bit of hype, get people talking, okay? Have you seen how much motion John 1000, the guy, right, has been, him alone? Like, he's got crazy motion right now. Still ongoing. People are still using the memes, right? So when you have all of that kind of going on for a few months, you let it marinate with the community. Okay, you have people talking about it, speculation, content creators doing videos about it. They know how this shit works. Bandai has been around for a very long time. There's a reason why Bandai has, you know, partners, and they opened up the creator program, right? Because content creators do promote the game, in a sense, or their upcoming projects, right? And that's why they do it. So that's just one part of it. But you also have all the other fans, right? Which we're still fans too. And we're just talking. Talking about it is good, right? It's good. Discussions. It's constantly feeding the fire for the game, and they don't even have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just drop the trailer and they can just dip. And who knows? That Xenoverse 3 playlist creation, it could be all part of the marketing strategy. This is some, like, Illuminati shit that I'm getting into, right? Illuminati fucking confirmed at this point. You know, shout out to my boy Etika. So yeah, like, it could be all part of this shit, right? So I think that what they're doing is good so far, okay? Now, if they came out and they just called it Xenoverse 3 at the event, people would still be hyped. But, you know, again, they're trying to, like, you know, it's Bandai, dog. They're trying to milk this shit a bit, right? Again, they're going to try to let it marinate for a bit, and then they'll give us more information at Battle Hour, which I think works out better because Battle Hour has been around for a while. The Genki Dai Matsuri event was a new, like, in a sense, it was a more new thing that they don't really do too often. The Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour event has been going on every single year. It's an annual thing. People know that's where you go for the big shit, right? All the good reveals, all the, you know, upcoming information that you are waiting for, that everything gets shown there, right? So yeah, they want to make sure that they get the major announcement, the big shit, at the big event, right? The one that, you know, is specifically for video games, right? Even though the Genki Dai Matsuri event did include it and had some Sparking Zero information and other mobile game stuff, that wasn't the event that was known for the video games, okay? That's why they made a specific event specifically for the games. So yeah, I think it works out better that way. How they're doing this is, it's good, right? I think they're doing a decent job of it. Hopefully they can, you know, feed us information more frequently like they've done in the past. With a big Dragon Ball game, they generally have information dropping every single month. They've been doing that for the past few games, okay? Like Sparking Zero's promotion, phenomenal job. I think that was one of the best jobs that they did when it came to leading up. Now they did horribly when it came to the DLC. That was horrible. I don't know what happened. I guess they just spent all their budget on it right before the game released, only for it to kind of fall off and they get burnt out on it. I guess, I don't know, but I digress. That's just, you know, my theory on how things are going to work. And then the last thing, and again, people are going to say, oh, this is a reach and everything, and I'm not. I just found this cool and interesting. Okay, this means nothing. It really does. But I was rewatching that trailer and I was like, wait a minute. The Dragon Ball Project Age 1000 trailer has a similar thing where they both open up, okay? The trailers both open up. I'm talking like you play the trailer and the first thing you see is this streak of gold light kind of looking like the Legends Limited animation that you get in Dragon Ball Legends, right? And it's almost exact the way that they did this, okay? I mean, with the Xenoverse 2 announcement trailer, which is the one I'm talking about after the 24 hours, you know, led up and we got the trailer. This is the one. This is what it was, right? It was specifically that top one. That one, they just put Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. Presents, right? But again, they both open up that way. Again, it's just a little thing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't prove that, oh, this is Xenoverse 3, right? No. I just wanted to put it on there because I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That was a little bit interesting. But yeah, I talk a lot. I talk a lot in these videos. If you don't like me yapping, then don't fucking watch my videos. Why are you here? If you like to hear me yapping, you can put it on like it's a podcast, right? You have that shit going on for like 20 minutes hearing me talk about this shit, going over all sorts of crazy ass stuff, man. I got a lot of cool videos coming for y'all. We're gonna be talking about Xenoverse 3. Let me know down in the comments, what are some of the top 10 things that you want to see for this game? And I'll probably do a video going over some of the stuff that you guys want to see, or some of my personal things that I want to see for this game, right? If it actually is Xenoverse 3. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.